Normally, I wouldn't weigh in on anything like this Russell Wilson and Ciara subject, but it's starting to bleed over into the channels that I listen to, and what I can't understand is, well, I'm gonna be honest. What I can't understand is how stupid and silly black folks can be about crap like this. This is the most inane, silly bullshit that I have ever seen in my whole entire life. I think we have much, much better things that we can talk about and do than talk about this kind of crap. I understand why people are upset on either side. It's the single mothers, the baby mamas that got pregnant by quote unquote thugs and bad boys, and then hooking up with the so-called nerds or lames. And that's the image that is projected. Now, real quick, what we're going to talk about is the typical trope. Now, Ciara's been basically hanging out with rappers and bad boys her whole young life, for the most part, in her 20s. She dated all the rappers. She dated all the bad boys. She's been on videos, twerking. That was her image. She's the twerk queen. She's the video hoe. That was her claim to fame. She's the Foxy Browns and Little Kims, and then that ilk. That was her claim to fame. And so basically she went guys are mad because she went the alpha fucks and then did the switch up in her 30s, the beta bucks, which is what feminists talk about all the time. So she fits that trope. She fits that model. And the educated guys or the square guys on the other side are upset because Russell Wilson, who's seen as a square guy, a square quarterback, the upstanding guy who's in his 20s and no babies out of wedlock and that kind of stuff, that crystal clean image. He's seen as a square. He's seen as a simp, a high paid simp, given into Ciara's whorish charms. And I'm laughing. I'm laughing because it's obvious what's going on. These are not ordinary people. So so we got black folks in the hood mapping what Ciara, Russell Wilson are doing, and I see black men mad because they perceive Russell Wilson as simping out, and black women is happy because that's redemption for single mothers or living that quote unquote whorish lifestyle in your 20s and then marrying and landing well. It's like a hood rat Cinderella does good. But if we analyze this, if we stop and logically analyze this and look and see what's going on and look and see that there's money behind this, then we can understand it's not as it appears. Russell Wilson is not an educated lame. Russell Wilson has been an all-state quarterback since he was a freshman. A biracial kid, banging white girls, and whatever else came across, because he was a top flight quarterback in college. As a football player, he's banging everything that he can get his hands on left and right. If he's straight, he's banging everything he can get his hands on left and right. Decent looking guy, mixed kid, curly hair, athlete, top flight athlete. Dude's an alpha. He's not a simp. He's not a lame. Married his quote unquote high school sweetheart coming out of college. And what happens to athletes amongst those alpha males? They screw each other's women. It happened. He divorced his wife. He got rid of her. So why would you say he would go from being married and quote unquote being the square guy, supposedly the square guy, and hook up with a quote unquote rapper hood rat like Ciara? It's called fame, and money. It's the same thing as Kanye West hooking up with Kim Kardashian. You would say the same thing. Kanye West could have picked any woman he wanted in the world because he had that kind of swag and fame. Why'd he hook up with Kim Kardashian? Fame and money. Same thing with Russell Wilson. Now, if Russell Wilson had picked up some stripper off the pole that had 2 or 3 kids, and he was down on a bended knee and married his woman, yeah, then I would call Russell Wilson a fool and a simp, which is not the first time an NFL player has gone with a stripper and hung out with her and got her pregnant and all that stuff and got, that done us. So we know the NFL is replete with knuckleheads that are loose with their penis. So Russell Wilson probably is not that much different. We just don't hear about it. Just like we don't hear about Peyton Manning doing what he does. He's discreet. But Ciara is a trophy. She's famous. She's had hit records. They know her all over the world. They know her all over the United States. Even having a baby by Future, she's in the headlines. He starts dating Ciara. He's got a little baby Future right next to him. Click, click, click. Guess what? Now his name is not just a football household word. It's a national household word with people that don't even know about football or who Russell Wilson was before he started dating Ciara. It's called brand recognition. He's going to be famous for making a hoe. Not to say that Ciara's a hoe, because I never believed that she was. She's doing what every other black girl does in her position. If we're going to call Ciara a slut and a hoe, we're going to have to start calling millions and millions of black women that are in the same position sluts and hoes. That is the nature of America today. That is what they teach these little girls from the time that they're in kindergarten, to be sexually free. There is no more virgins waiting to be married anymore. You can throw a rock in the ocean and it will come back dry before you can throw a rock into the black community with any chick over the age of 16 and hit a virgin. That's the way. That's the climate that we live in. And we're not even talking about black women. We're talking about all women. White ones too. It is a promiscuous society. That being said, Ciara is a trophy wife. Ciara is the redeemed hoe. You went with, dated and had a baby by some guy that has 4 other baby mamas, who's a quote unquote thug and player and all that stuff. So now you have been redeemed by a quote unquote good guy. That is a story that sells. It redeems her image, and it saves his image because it gets his name out there. So it doubles his endorsement. So rather than making $2 or $3 million in endorsements for winning a Super Bowl, you've just tripled your endorsement money just by not even marrying the girl, by just showing up with the girl and having her as your girlfriend. That's a trophy. That's an asset. This has nothing to do with being a simp or quote unquote being in love. I don't know whether he loves her or not. I don't know if he wanted her or not. There's plenty of dudes marrying chicks that have been around because she's famous. They see her in the magazine. They always wanted her. I'm not knocking a dude. If I got millions of dollars, I'm worth, $80 million. And there's a chick that I want and that I've always wanted because I've seen her in the magazine, and I can have that. If she comes my way, I might take it. How often do you get your dream girl? Not very often. How often do you get your dream girl and actually make some money from her? Not very often. How many times do you hook up with a black chick and actually can say you made money from being in that association? It ain't very often. So black dudes, relax, peep game, see what it is. Don't get upset. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with anything. Black women ain't going to change. They might be a little bit more hardy because they say, well, if Ciara can have a couple of babies and still go out and land the guy, so can I. And they're going to demand a little bit more. But hell, you're not going to marry him anyway. So what difference does it make? And I know what other guys are saying, especially the pro-black guys. What they're saying is you're just encouraging young black women to follow in Ciara's footpaths without Ciara's fame. It is what it is. If black women are that stupid, so be it. If young black women are so stupid as to believe they can follow those same footpaths and land the exact same way, then so be it. Let them fall on their ass. Stop trying to save these chicks. Y'all just do what you do. Anyway, that's my short.